This is our opportunity of a lifetime, and we must seize it with both hands.
Alex Salmond changed the SNP from a party of protest to a party of power, and as First Minister, he brought Scotland to the brink of independence. Alex Salmond, born in Linlithgow in West Lothian on Hogmanay 1954, was a student activist while studying at St Andrews in the 1970s. In the early 80s, his membership of the left-wing 79 group saw him briefly expelled from the SNP.
Alex Elliot Anderson Salmond, 19,463.
He was one of 3 SNP MPs elected in 1987. As the representative of Banff and Buchan, he quickly made a name for himself at Westminster, disrupting Chancellor Nigel Lawson's budget. When Gordon Wilson stepped down as SNP leader in 1990, the rising star beat party veteran Margaret Ewing to take on the party's top job.
This is billed as an acceptance speech, and on reflection, I've got to tell you today, I've decided to accept.
After Labour took power in 1997, he worked closely with the then Scottish Secretary Donald Dewar to secure a win for the Yes movement in the devolution referendum. 2 years later, Alex Salmond led the party in the first ever Holyrood elections, with the SNP winning 35 seats. In 2000, the party's figurehead stunned Scottish politics by quitting as SNP leader. John Swinney took over, but he stood down in 2004. Salmond then returned as leader for a second, more successful time. In 2007, the SNP went into government for the very first time, fundamentally changing Scottish politics.
Alex Salmond is selected as this Parliament's nominee for appointment as First Minister.
In 2011, the Nationalists achieved what was thought to be the near impossible and won an outright majority in the Scottish Parliament.
I'll govern for all of the ambitions of Scotland and all the people who imagine that we can live in a better land.
This paved the way for an independence referendum.
This white paper is the most detailed blueprint that any people have ever been offered anywhere in the world as a basis for becoming an independent country.
On the 18th of September 2014, Scottish voters backed remaining in the UK by 55% to 45%. Salmond resigned.
For me as leader, my time is nearly over. But for Scotland, the campaign continues and the dream shall never die.
He returned to Westminster in 2015, but lost his Gordon seat 2 years later. By then, he was in his 60s, and he remained in the spotlight, raising a few eyebrows with an Edinburgh Fringe show. His move, fronting a show on the Russia-backed RT channel, proved highly controversial. In 2018, he resigned from the SNP when allegations of sexual misconduct emerged dating back to his time as First Minister.
I'm no perfect. I've made many mistakes in my life, political and personal, but I am not guilty of harassing anyone, and I am certainly not guilty of any criminality.
He successfully took on the government he once led over the mishandling of the complaints and won a judicial review. Alex Salmond went on trial in 2020, accused of 14 serious sexual offences. He was later acquitted of all charges, but the pre-trial publicity and the evidence about his behaviour battered his reputation.
Just over a year ago, when we finished the civil action and judicial review, I said I had great faith in the court system of Scotland. That faith has been much reinforced today.
In 2021, he formed a new pro-independence party ahead of the Holyrood elections, but failed to make a breakthrough. His love of politics and his commitment to the nationalist cause shaped the life of Alex Salmond. He never wavered in that belief. In his final social media post, only hours before his death, he declared Scotland is a country, not a county.